My name is Olga, and this is my channel about startups. And today we will talk about pitch deck. But before I start, please, if you like my content, subscribe, share, give me some likes. Thank you. So, what is a pitch deck? A pitch deck is a presentation that a startup prepares to present its idea uh, to an investor in front of investor or a pool of investors. A startup needs a pitch deck. That's a document, a PDF or PPT presentation document that has slides and helps explain your idea, talk about your product, about your team, about investments, etc. And there is a special layout that all investors expect to have or to see when you present. Pitch deck is a file, but you can also present verbally using pitch deck, or you can send it out to your prospective investors. And there is some structure. I will be showing a presentation of Airbnb. I hope you all know this service that we use to rent apartments when we travel. And I will show their first pitch deck that they created to talk about their product in front of investors. So the structure of a pitch deck is the following. There are 8 to 10 slides, not more. Please don't make 15, 20 slides. No one is going to read that. You only need 8 to 10 slides. That's maximum. And number of words on slides should also be minimum. It should present the basic idea. Don't put your financial calculations, etc. on slides. It's not readable. So first slide is always about a one-liner. One-liner is explains what is your product about. So let's have a look at Airbnb presentation. There is some ad in here, and how they presented their idea on the first slide. So just a sec, here we are. Air, bed, and breakfast. That's the long name of Airbnb. Book rooms with locals rather than hotels. So there is one line that explains the idea. And reading this one line, your investor should understand the idea like that. It shouldn't be very complicated. Believe me, no one is gonna read it further if they don't understand from this one line what you are doing. Next slide number 2, you have to explain the problem that exists on the market, because you create your product not because you think it's very interesting, beautiful, etc. You create your product because you think there is some problem on the market and you solve this problem. So if we look at Airbnb, they talk about price, that it's very expensive to book hotels when you travel. You don't get in touch with the city when you live in a hotel. And there is no way to book a home with locals and stay with them. So they first explain the problem. There is a problem like that on the market. After we explain the problem, we explain the solution. Now we explain how we're going to solve this problem with our product. And they say, well, we want to create a web platform so people can rent rooms with locals and they will save money. Those who are hosting will make money, and there will be some culture sharing between the two. So you explain how you solve this massive problem that exists on the market. After you explain that, you have to show that actually the market that has this problem is huge. Because you remember, angel investors and venture investors, they are interested in big problems. They are not interested in small problems. And here, Airbnb founders say that there are that many people that browse at couchsurfing.com. It was their competitor back then, and they are looking for apartments to stay at. And there are that many listings on Craigslist. They also show how big the market is, and usually that is done in dollars, not in people or rooms, etc. Investors like market size to be evaluated in dollars. So I would see that's a very weak presentation of Airbnb founders here, but that was their first pitch deck. So you show in dollars the size of the market. Then you can talk about your product in more detail. If you have some MVP, you can show it on your slides. It's a good sign that you already worked on it and there is some basic minimum viable product that investors can touch. And after that, you talk about business model. Business model means how much money, how you're going to earn your money. What exactly is your business model? Are you going to charge extra commission? Are you going to earn money from advertising? Are you going to just add up some markups and sell this product, etc.? Investors want to understand after they invest money in you and you start generating revenue, where will your portion of profit come from? So how are you gonna generate this revenue? What's the business model? And they say they will take 10% of commission from each transaction. So people basically rent an apartment, 90% goes to the host and 10% to Airbnb. And they can show you again the market size by using this business model calculation. After business model, you can talk about competition. And it's very important to talk about competition because that's a wrong approach to say I don't have any competitors. Every investor understands that even if you don't have direct competitors, you do have indirect competitors. If you create an app, game app, let's say, so people would sit there and play, your indirect competition is book reading, watching Netflix, playing with kids, etc. Other activities that I will stop doing and go and play with your game. So there is always indirect competition and direct competition, and it's a much stronger approach to show your investors that you know your competitors, but you also know what are your strengths. So why are you better than other competitors on that map? And Airbnb created a chart showing that there are parameters, affordability, online transactions, expensive or affordable offline transactions, online transactions, that they are better than their competitors in some parameters. After that, you have to show your team, and actually that's something they talk about competitive advantages more, but they don't have their team here on slides, and that's a very weak point because investors at early stage, they invest in teams, not that much into ideas or markets. They invest into teams that are able to build strong products, but also they can pivot. Maybe if you present or try to launch this product, at some point you understand you need to pivot. Strong teams are able to pivot. So investors need a team slide where you show your strengths as a team. And you can also add a slide about investments, how much money you are looking for. You never talk about evaluation on slides. That is something that is discussed in couloirs, in rooms, during personal meetings with investors. Never show that on slides. And yes, that's it. Last slide. Thank you for your attention. These are our contacts. So I hope that was an interesting presentation of a pitch deck example. Please comment if you want me to maybe show you other pitch decks and discuss their strengths and weaknesses. Please share my video, give me some likes and subscribe. Thank you.